Alright, welcome to the video. In this one, I'm going to show you guys how to make wax melts. I've started putting little gestures in my candle boxes, like tea lights and wax melts. That's like a little token gift, so people can sample other scents, and who doesn't like a freebie? So I will show you how I make the wax melts. It's super simple. Let's get into it. But before I do that, I'd appreciate it if you could give this video a thumbs up, a like, and subscribe to the channel if you're into candle making and that kind of stuff. So let's move on. We're going to need a couple of things to do it properly. We're going to need some wax, golden wax 494, which is specifically for wax melts. You're going to want a wax which sets quite hard, so something specifically for wax melts, or rapeseed wax, or just double check with the website and the manufacturer and just make sure it is suitable for your purpose. There's no point using container candle wax and trying to make it, because it's just going to be too soft. It just isn't going to work. And some fragrance oil, so I'm going to do some hot apple pie. This is going to be wicked. You're also going to need something to melt the wax in. I've got a little presto pot here. You can use a double boiler, you can use a soup kettle like I've got here. Just something to get the wax hot, and then something to pour the wax into and stir it around. So the next step is just to wait for that to heat up. We're going to get it to 75 degrees, and then we're going to pour the scent in, give it a little stir, let that cool down a bit, and then pour it. I think I'm going to put a little bit of glitter in mine, give it a bit of a shimmer as it melts. Jazzy. These soy wax flakes don't take long to melt, especially in this presto pot. Yeah, and that's about 5 minutes in, and we're pretty much going to be ready to pour. So I'm just going to probe it, see what temperature we're at, and go from there. Yep, so easily at the right temperature. The next step is just to weigh it to see how much we've got. It's important to weigh everything in candles and wax melts, as different things have different densities. Fragrance oils and waxes, they all weigh different amounts. They're not fluid measurements. Right, so that's a kilo of wax. So we're going to keep that super simple. We're going to add 10% fragrance load. So we're going to put 100 grams of fragrance oil in there. Give that a whisk, let it get down to about 60 degrees, 55 degrees, and then we're going to pour it. It's important to stir it for several minutes just to make sure everything is incorporated. So I like to really go to town for, like I said, a couple of minutes. Just keep mixing it. And as it cools, I periodically come back and mix it as well. If you want to add some dye, now is a good time to add a bit of dye once you've added the fragrance oil. So I'm just going to add a few drops of this green dye to go with the apple theme. Delicious. You can also put a bit of like mica glitter in the bottom of your wax molds. You don't need a lot, and it will give it a lovely sort of shimmer effect as it sets. And you can also put a bit in your wax melt wax as well. Give that a little stir. It is pretty mesmerizing once you've added the glitter. The only problem is, it gets bloody everywhere, and I feel like a fairy for a while. Proper cool though, that shimmer. So as your wax melts, it will look like that. Yeah, real cool. So the wax is down to 55 degrees, so I'm going to start pouring in a second. Just basically fill up the molds and then keep pouring. Super simple, let it set, pop them out, and that is it. real easy. This is a bit of an impromptu video, so I stupidly haven't set my tripod up, so I'm trying to film and pour. The hardest part about this whole process is keeping a steady hand and trying to pour them. You can get those pancake siphons on Amazon pretty cheap. I keep meaning to buy one, I just haven't yet, and it's moments like this that I wish I did. Right, so that's all those done, and I've even got a little bit left, so a kilo of wax goes a long way. So I've got this tiny little shells, so we'll fill that up, and then we'll let them set, and that is it. And then this is the end product. So I've already popped a few out, but they look pretty cool, I think. Although the only problem is this glitter gets everywhere. They sort of look like those Guyane shell chocolates. So I need to maybe put a label on it if I'm going to put these as a freebie in my candle saying try me, just so people don't eat them. But yeah, if you're thinking about making wax melts and you haven't before, give it a go, because super simple, really easy. Much easier than candles because you haven't got the issue with wicking.